Now that the second one got continued. That's what I heard from the staff earlier today.
Okay. Good evening. For those of you in the audience who have not attended one of these hearings recently, let me review our normal procedure. If you'd like to speak, please fill out the speaker form located on the table in the lobby and indicate the item number and whether you are for or against the item. And please give the form to the clerk seated on my left. The applicant and supporters will be heard first. Those in opposition to the request will be heard next. If necessary, the applicant will be given a chance for rebuttal. Comments should be restricted to pertinent information regarding the agenda item under discussion. We don't want to get involved in neighborhood gossip and who likes who and who doesn't like who and somebody's dog did this or whatever. If you're an individual, you'll have 3 minutes for comments. If you're speaking on behalf of a group, you will have 6 minutes for comments. Speakers should move closer to the podium when their item is being presented by staff. Speakers should identify themselves clearly for the record by stating their name and address. Each speaker should be given respectful and courteous attention. The board may ask questions of speakers or staff members. Information such as pictures, site plans, letters, etc., presented at the public hearing will be kept as part of the public record. If you have something on your cell phone you'd like to show us, that's fine. We'd love to see it, but you have to promise to send a copy of it to staff after the hearing. Otherwise, they have to keep your cell phone. I would then ask for a motion from the board. Once the motion has been made and seconded, discussion will be closed to the floor. Following board discussion, a vote will be taken. During voting, board members who did not cast objecting votes are considered to have voted in support of the motion. Any person aggrieved by any decision of the Board of Adjustment may, within 15 days, file an appeal to the Board of County Commissioners through the Planning and Development Division of the Development Services Department. Okay, we're ready for our first item, and I understand that's confidential.
Yes, item number one, Angie Gates, for the record, Planning and Development. Item number 1 is a request for a side yard south setback variance from 10 feet to 7 feet for an addition in the R1AA Single Family Dwelling District in the Sleepy Hollow subdivision for Lot 25 on Raven Rock Lane. The proposed addition will be 679 square feet and will encroach 3 feet into the required side yard south setback. There have not been any prior variances for this subject property, and this concludes my presentation.
Okay, any questions for staff? Okay, is the applicant present? Is there anything you would like to add to staff comments? You're not required to talk, but if you want to, then now's your time.
Do I approach or?
If you're going to have to come up if you're going to talk.
Okay.
It's recorded, so we need to get you on a microphone. Come on up here to the podium right here.
Oh, here, okay. I just wanted to say, it's merely it's an inline structure, I guess, just to match up with the house. It's a room we're building on the back for my mother-in-law, my wife's mother, who has some medical conditions. She's living by herself, no, not by herself, with her husband, who has other issues now. But in the near future, we're going to have to be able to take care of her. So it's a room. It's in line with the request is to keep it in line with the house. The house apparently, when it was built or sometime thereafter, the house sits over the setback just a little bit, and we're just trying to keep it in line with that and go back 14 feet, I believe. So that's the purpose of it. It's not putting a kitchen in it, just basically a room and some living space in there.
Okay, so you're just trying to run it straight with the house and not have a jog in the,
Yes, they're just trying to keep it where, it looks, geometrically makes sense and it doesn't look like the Minecraft game or something, with all these little things.
any questions for the applicant? Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Have you chatted with your neighbors?
Yes, they're on board. They have no issue at all. Nobody.
On both sides?
Both sides, yes, sir.
Gotcha,
Yes,
thank you, sir.
Any other questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone to speak in support of the request? Is there anyone to speak in opposition to the request? Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. It's approved. Good luck to you. All right, next item.
Item number 2 for 149 Academy Oaks Place, staff is recommending that it be continued to the August 28th meeting because the applicant changed the measurements and they were smaller than what was advertised.
Okay. We have a motion to continue to the next meeting.
Second. Or do we have?
Well,
Move to.
we'll do it.
So moved.
We have a motion, we have a second. Some discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
It's carried next meeting.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item number 3 is a request for a side yard west setback variance from 10 feet to 8 feet for a single-family dwelling in the A1 Agricultural District located at 3911 East Osceola Road. The proposed single-family dwelling will be approximately 2,395 square feet and will encroach 2 feet into the required side yard west setback. The existing 1,062 square foot home will be removed. 2 letters of support were received from the surrounding neighbors, and there have not been any prior variances for this subject property. And this concludes my presentation.
Okay, any questions for staff? Okay, applicant's present, he's up here. Will you state your name and address for the record?
My name's Richard Davignon. I don't actually live on the property yet because the building was 1948 type building, kind of
Okay,
sketchy.
what is your address, sir?
I live in Titusville right now.
I just need the street address because they have to have it for the record.
3685 Miriam Drive in Titusville.
Okay.
And I have letters from both neighbors on each side that says it's fine. And the biggest reason is the lot's extremely narrow, as you can see from the map. It's only 75 feet wide. And there's a very large oak tree on the east side of the property, and I'm trying to offset the house from that oak tree rather than have to damage it. And that's it. And, oh, and when the house is, the neighbor on the side I'm asking for the variance on is set quite a ways back. We'll still have 27 feet between the two houses.
Okay. Have you spoken to him?
Yes, I have a letter in the file from that lady as well as the neighbor on the other side.
Okay, perfect. Any questions for the applicant? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone to speak in support of the request? Is there anyone to speak in opposition to the request? We have a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion approved is second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. It's approved. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, next item.
Good evening. For the record, Hillary Payton, Planning and Development. Item number 4 is a variance request for 972 Old Mill Lane, located in the Middleton Oaks subdivision. The request is for a rear yard setback reduction from 30 feet to 26 feet for a screen room addition in the R1A zoning district. The request is to construct an 8 by 12-foot screen room addition onto an existing pavement, encroaching 4 feet into the required 30-foot rear yard setback. The Middleton Oaks Community Association Architectural Control Committee has approved the request. This concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for staff? Okay, is the applicant present? Good evening. Is there anything you would like to add?
No.
Oh, you don't have,
It's
do we have any questions for the applicant? Nope, okay.
pretty standard.
All right, is there anyone to speak in support of the request? Is there anyone to speak in opposition to the request? We have a motion.
Mr. Chair, move to approve.
Motion to approve, we have a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 5 is a variance request for 1023 Chesterfield Circle, located in the Amherst subdivision. The request is a rear yard setback reduction from 30 feet to 23.5 feet for a covered lanai addition in the R1AA zoning district. The request is to construct a 662-square-foot covered patio area with a summer kitchen, encroaching 6.5 feet into the required 30-foot rear yard setback. The Amherst Homeowners Association Architectural Review Board has approved the request contingent on county permitting. 2 letters of support have been received from the adjacent neighbors. In my staff report, I stated in error that there's been prior variances. There have not been prior variances for the subject property. This concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for staff? Okay. Sir?
Good evening.
Please state your name and address.
My name is Marty Polakowski. I live at 267 Lakeview Drive, Sanford, Florida, 32773. And I'm with Kind Construction. We're the contractors for the Bowens. As staff has indicated, the Bowens received letters from both neighbors on the east and on the west. The neighbor in the rear of the property, apparently that home is not occupied. It was received in probate in 2020, and there's nobody residing there to be able to get a letter from. However, that house sits in approximately 260 feet from the rear property line. In addition, and you can't see it on this aerial, and I did do a video, but I'm not going to take your time with it, but you cannot see the house at the back of the property. So this improvement, there's no way that the resident there would be able to see it as well. In addition, this is the encroachment into the setback is not the entire structure. It's because of the angle of the building sits on it. There's approximately 97 square feet of the lanai that will encroach into the setback, and it's for a distance of approximately 15 feet. The house was constructed in the 80s. There was a swimming pool before. In the spring of this year, the county issued a brand-new permit. They tore out the old pool, and a new pool is currently under construction in the same location. It's just a nicer-looking pool, and this addition is being added because the residents desire to have the summer kitchen on the back of the building, and it is just a projection of the building line to the rear, and just due to the space requirements that they need for both the kitchen and the living space, it pushes the building out that far. I encourage you to approve the request for the variance. Obviously, the improvements will increase the property values and add to the revenue of the county without any impact on services. And it will also impact the adjacent neighborhood in terms of property values and hopefully increase property value and tax assessments as well. If you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Any question for the applicant representative? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone to speak in support of the request? Is there anyone to speak in opposition to the request? We have a motion.
Mr. Chair, move to approve.
Motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. It's approved. Good luck to you. All right. Item 6.
Item number 6 is a variance request for 1674 Tremont Lane, located in the Country Lane subdivision. The request is for a south side street setback reduction from 20 feet to 3 feet for a privacy fence in the Lake Florence PD zoning district. The subject property is a corner lot and has 2 front yards for setback purposes. The front of the house faces Tremont Lane. The Lawndale Circle side is where the variance is being sought. The request is to construct a 6-foot privacy fence 3 feet from the side street property line, encroaching 17 feet into the side street setback. The existing fence will remain, and a variance for the fence was not found. The applicants are requesting to extend the fence to enclose additional side yard. The proposed fence is 3 feet from the sidewalk and 16 feet from the edge of pavement. Traffic engineering has no objection to the placement of the fence as it relates to site visibility. Letters of support have been received from 9 of the neighbors. This concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for staff? Just want to make sure I'm clear. So there's an existing fence, but you don't have record of a variance, so they're including that in this request, and they're going to tie onto it and extend the fence.
That's correct.
All right, please state your name and address for the record.
Leah James, 1674 Tremont Lane, Winter Park. We also submitted an approval by the homeowners association regarding the matter, and this has kind of been a really long-going situation with this particular resident in the neighborhood, and we've tried everything we can to resolve the issue, and we really just don't have reasonable use of our yard without fear of conflict. And both of us in the house have PTSD, and my spouse is also handicapped, so we're trying to near towards retirement and grow food in our yard, and we're not safely able to do that currently with some of the things that have happened in the neighborhood, particularly with this neighbor. So I know that it's a little bit out of line. I'm not sure what the variance is with the other fence. It was there when we moved in, when we bought the house 20-some years ago. So that's where it's been. And there's a pool in the backyard, so there's no room for garden or anything back there. So we do want to bring that side fence all the way up as far as we can, 10 feet to the front of the house, according to our HOA rules. And this has been recommended to us a number of times, especially by law enforcement when they've come out knowing the particular individual, just to kind of take ourselves out of the line of sight, because our bedroom window is right across the street from the particular neighbor. And there's frequent domestic violence calls there, and they're frequently outside. So if we go outside at all, we're subject to, name calling and just all sorts of things. So, and it depends whether there's a medication appropriate level going on or not, as told to me by the particular neighbor. And I know I appreciate mental health conditions and have tried to work with that, but I don't know what else to do besides put up a fence so that I can enjoy my yard.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Is there anyone to speak in support of the request? Is there anyone to speak in opposition to the request? Okay, we have a motion.
I move to approve.
A motion to approve, do we have a second? We have a second? Any discussion? You look like you're in deep thought, Mr. Hathaway.
He always looks like he's nice.
My question is, and I'm very empathetic with what the applicant is saying, and a question comes to my mind, and I'm sorry to be so transparent, but if the sole justification for the fence is a neighbor who's less than pleasant, does that then mean perhaps if that neighbor moves out that the fence should come down?
I get you saying, but variances run with the land, and we
Exactly.
can't make that contingent upon that.
Right. and
Variance,
that's-
once approved, lasts forever.
And that's just my concern of it's one of those, that's just where my thought process was going. And it's,
I can see the gears grinding.
yeah.
Is that what I smelled?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of the request, we have a motion to approve. All in favor of the request, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries, it's approved. Good luck. Okay, next thing is the minutes. And we did receive the minutes. I saw them myself. Do we have any additions, changes, deletions? Or a motion to approve would be nice.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Motion to approve?
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. Anything else for the good of the order? Well, go home and enjoy your night. This makes up for last month.
Oh, what did I miss last month?
9:30 at night.
Man, didn't miss much then.
It was pretty juicy.
How many items was it?
Huh?
How many items was
It
it?
wasn't that many.